what are some of the placements that you have gotten for your clients?
We have gotten video game placements. We've gotten the trailer, like I mentioned, for the big film, The Senior. Lots of reality TV. We've gotten a couple spots on Grey's Anatomy. We've gotten a couple spots on Ransom Canyon, All American. We've done something with J. Crew. We've done something with Michael Kors. All of a sudden, you have $20,000 more in your bank account, and you didn't even know like it was gonna happen at all. The biggest one probably could go for $500K. I've seen. Crazy to like have it just be sitting on this website that wasn't doing anything, but then all of a sudden, like I got a huge payout. From my last placement, I saw a very huge spike in Shazams. Every time you write a song, you should, if it's not just your own song, if you're writing with other people, you should sign a split sheet. Most people don't realize what goes on behind the scenes of a placement. Like it takes lightning in a bottle to get the placement. There's directions when you're pitching to people. Like don't just like, hey, here's a link to my SoundCloud. No one ever wants a link to your SoundCloud. Never. Don't ever do that.
If I am an artist that is looking to get my music into, TV shows, films, commercials, what have you, what do I need to do?
I would say a very important part of the process is
she knows the ins and outs of getting songs in movies, on TV shows, in commercials. She co-owns a sync agency and has gotten multiple placements herself. Chelsey Coy.
Woo.
Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. How are you?
I'm great. Thank
Awesome.
you.
All right, so we're gonna, dive into sync.
Yep.
Go into, like I said, some of the ins and outs of sync because you know it all.
Yeah.
I want to start with say what?
I try. It's constantly changing.
No, it's totally. I want to start with the different kinds of syncs that are out there and kind of the pay ranges of those things.
Right. So, really, it all depends on what you want to do as an artist or where you want your music placed. But there's multiple avenues for you to place your music, including in advertisements like what you see on TV. There's also a lot of online advertisements as well. Now there's video games. That's a huge market. There's trailers and promos, which you also can see on TV for any kind of movie that's coming out, or like a promo for like ABC shows Thursday night. And you'll see all the shows that are the popular shows, and you'll hear music behind that. That's what we call a promo. There's a lot more stuff that goes on in TV, a lot on sports, like bumpers, things that you hear before and after, like plays, that kind of thing. Those are all TV related. You can also get your music into films, which is music supervision, which we also do at TwoOhSix. There's just so many avenues. And now that there's social media everywhere, it's like everything needs music. You can make money off of that.
Awesome. And what are some of the pay ranges that people can make in these different avenues?
Right. So if you get like a worldwide commercial, like say you get a car commercial that runs all the time nationwide, that can run you, a $300,000 upfront fee. And what that means, upfront fee, we use that term a lot, is that it's the fee you get for the master as well as the publishing side of your song. So whoever owns the master and whoever owns the publishing would get that upfront fee. That does not include the royalties. On some placements, you get backend royalties. Like if it's in your PRO, you'll get a backend royalty for that. Like if your song is placed on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, like 9 months later, you'll see it in your PRO and you'll get royalties from those placements as well. So, yeah. Oh, and then I guess I should include more ranges. Sorry. So that's like, the biggest one probably could go for $500K. I've seen $300K, $200K. Those are all like more in the advertising world. Trailers can run you, a lot of money, $150,000. Down to like if you just get a tiny little snippet of a song. We got our first big trailer last year for the movie called The Senior, and we had just like 20 seconds of a song in the trailer, and it was like $20,000 spot. So, you know, it's pretty lucrative there. Film and TV are a little less lucrative, as well as social media campaigns. Like for a social media campaign for like 6 months, it can run you anywhere. We've seen rates from like $600 to like $3,000. So it just really depends. It's usually on the lesser side because it is like social media and those companies have a limited budget for that. Films, if it's an indie film, like a very low budget indie film, we've seen anywhere from like $500 placement for those types of spots up to, you know, if it's a major film, I've seen like $20,000, and that's usually like an end credit or opening credit. It really just depends on the budget and how much people allot for music. Unfortunately, the music department is usually the last. They're hired first, and then they go through the whole process of filming the movie and from the script and whatnot, and talking with the directors, and then to the end of the movie when the budget has run out, they're like, well, now we can't do it for this. So can these people do this song for $600? You know, it just really depends. If someone's like very adamant about the music and they keep that budget up front and they don't use it, we really appreciate it, because obviously we want our musicians at TwoOhSix to get paid, and as musicians ourselves, we want to get paid. So, it can really run the gamut. I mean, we try to take things that are no less than $500 for an upfront fee. Sometimes for tiny movies, it's like $300. Up to 300,000, 300 to 300,000, and it can really like run the gamut. Yeah. So
All right. What about like reality TV? Where is that kind of?
Yeah, so that's on the lower side of TV. That's when I say like $500 is the standard rate for that. It something like a more popular, like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I think it was like $2,000. But I think that's the highest I've ever seen for a reality TV show. So yeah, they're on the lower side. But TV tends to be on the lower side. There are shows that have been, like Grey's Anatomy has been running for years and years and years, and I've seen it anywhere from like $14K to $20K for one spot. So yeah, if it's a bigger show, something that's been, they're going into season 23. So, and they were like kind of the pioneers of how you hear and listen to music from TV. Like I remember the first season, I watched it and it kind of changed my life in regards to like seeing music in TV and seeing what it can do, honestly. So yeah.
Awesome. And what are some of the placements that you have gotten for your clients? Like where has the music of your clients landed?
Yeah, so we've gotten lots of different things. We've supervised films, so a lot of like the first film we supervised was a full-length feature. It's out on video on demand if you want to check it out. It's really cool. Adventure Tom, it's a great film. We got like 12 of our artists placed in that movie, and the soundtrack, I personally did a lot of the playlist for that, and I just love the soundtrack. They were like Jersey State. Is that the movie? No. What's the movie? I don't remember. Anyway, the Zach Braff movie. Yeah, so they were like, this is what we want to go for, and that's kind of like right up my wheelhouse. So I was just like, yes, I get to run with this. So we've done supervision and gotten our artists in those films. We have gotten video game placements for some of our folks. We've gotten the trailer, like I mentioned, for the big film, The Senior, that came out last year. What else? Lots of reality TV. We've gotten a couple spots on Grey's Anatomy. We've gotten a couple spots on Ransom Canyon, All American. We've done something with J. Crew. We've done something with Michael Kors. Like, it's just kind of whatever comes across. Like, we want to be able to fill these briefs for these supervisors that are searching. So we have a very large roster of artists. We have like over 1,000 artists that we rep, and over 10,000 songs, and like 400 of them are vintage, like actual vintage one-stop songs. So we try to be able to be that agency for people. Like if they're looking for something obscure or just in general, that they can come to us and we'll provide it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How did 2:06 start?
We started, it's three of us. So I own the company with Lauren Light and Alex Helton. We're all musicians. Alex is also a producer. We've all worked together. We've all written songs together. And we met in an online like sync course years ago that someone was doing with Ari Herstand. And it was kind of like a double bill where he was doing an artist side and then this woman was doing the sync side. So we met in that course, online, of course. And then this Lauren's from Winston-Salem, like I said, and Alex lives in Orange County, and I'm here in LA. And yeah, they kept having events in LA. And so Lauren would come out and Alex would come up and we would just hang out. And yeah, we became friends and collaborators. And then we started we had like a writer's retreat in the desert. And after that we stayed in room 206. So after that we were like, let's start like a collective. We have these huge catalogs. We should be pitching our music not as artists but as a collective, because it's a little bit easier to kind of get your foot in the door if you're not just like, hey, listen to my songs. You know, you also have more to offer because you have a larger catalog and you know, more variety. So yeah, we came together and been since 2019, and yeah.
Awesome. No, that's very cool. It's really cool that you said that you all took this course.
Yeah.
And that's how you met. I mean, I think that's part of the value of, you know, education. And I think people look at, you know, price of some of these things and like of these courses and things like that. And then, but I think, you know, you can't put a price tag on the value of like making those connections and then going on to do something like what you've done. You know?
Right.
Like I feel like it would have never happened if you would have never taken that course. You wouldn't have been seeking out that education.
Oh no,
and,
not at all.
you
Yeah,
know.
totally. And we learned so much, and we met so many cool people, and like more than half of my collaborators are from that course, and I still like write with people in Australia and you know, across the States and in Europe, and it's so great that we were able to like come together virtually and then eventually have something tangible in person. So yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're grateful that we all met there. So.
Yeah, that's super awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so now let's kind of get into it. If I am a artist that is looking to get my music into, you know, TV shows, films, commercials, what have you, what do I need to do?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I have spent a lot of time, I guess, making videos about this and making it kind of known because I wanted to help my friends first and foremost. I was like, I have too many talented friends to not help them. I want to see them succeed and get placements and make money off of music because it's so freaking hard to do. You know that. And this seems like the one viable place that is, you know, admittedly getting oversaturated, but it's still the place that you can still make a little bit of money from. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm lost my train of thought, but
No,
yes.
all good. All good. No, I was just asking. Actually, you know what? Before we do this,
Yes.
I want to ask you about some of the personal placements that you got.
Yeah.
Because I
Totally.
remember, so on the previous iteration of this podcast, you came
Yeah.
on and you talked about what happened with your song "Home."
Yeah.
If you could tell that story again. And
Yeah.
then we'll go back.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. So my personal placements have been incredible. It's still amazing to like hear myself on TV. But the biggest placement I've had to this day is one that I got through a company called Song Trader. And it was funny because my music was just like up there for years and nothing was happening. And then all of a sudden they started like actually, I think, pitching the music, you know, to Supervisors, and suddenly I had a placement, and it was for a company on the East Coast, and it was a regional, you know, ad, and it played for 2 years, and they even like contacted me to do a redo of the song for Christmas, and then they paid me more money. So it was like it was just kind of crazy to like have it just be sitting on this website that wasn't doing anything, but then all of a sudden like I got a huge payout. And I was not expecting that money, and it kind of like sustained me. It was like during the pandemic too. It sustained me for a while, and I was so grateful. And that's like the impact it can have, you know, like all of a sudden you have $20,000 more in your bank account and you didn't even know like it was gonna happen at all. Like so that's like what I'm seeing, the impact from these placements. But yeah, so that was the biggest placement that I got. I recently got a song on Nashville 911.
Awesome.
And it was for a song that I wrote. It was one of the first sync songs that I wrote years ago. But yeah, it was 6 years and it hadn't had a placement yet. And so what I'm saying is like, no matter how long you've had these songs, like if you have 100 songs in your catalog or if you have 5, like they could be viable at some point. It doesn't really matter. Like, just make the songs, put them out, or don't. You don't have to put your songs out if you're just doing this to like do sync. But you know, the reason I got into this is because I am an artist myself, and I was putting out songs, and I wanted my music to reach more ears, and this is one of the biggest ways to do that. I mean, we've all seen the Metallica surge and the in Stranger Things and with Kate Bush and how her streams went up like 450%. Like people know who she is now. Like people are dancing to Wuthering Heights. Like whole new generations of people know who Kate Bush is because of placements. And that to me is like huge. It's honestly something that I don't know. Like I'm so grateful for it. Like it's like virality of getting your music on film and TV. So yeah.
Awesome.
Anyway.
That's very cool. Yeah, it's very, very cool.
I did see from my last placement, I saw a very huge spike in Shazams from the placement, like right after it happened in January, and right after, like I saw like 300 people had Shazammed it like in 2 days, and that I had never had that big of a spike. So yeah, it. You know, they might be hate Shazamming it, which is I do it all the time. But like, what the fuck is this?
But like, bullshit? I'm sure that's not why they were Shazamming your song.
No, I mean, who knows? I don't care. I'm just grateful that people are hearing it or they see my name, and like it's name recognition a lot of the time in this industry. Like 100%. The more people see your name, the more people see your face. Like that helps. So, yeah.
100%. Yeah, and have you seen that with other people too, like other clients of yours where they get bumps in their Spotify or whatever?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, you get placed in a show, and then they have a playlist like on Spotify that is like the official playlist, and then you get, you know, hundreds, thousands more streams. Yeah. So yeah, it can be huge. I mean, obviously if the show is nobody knows it, it's not going to have an impact. But like, I don't know, when my song was on Keeping Up with the Kardashians a couple summers ago, and I saw a spike in Spotify listens for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Okay, now let's go back to if I'm an artist that's new to this.
Yes.
And I want to.
Sorry, train of thought.
No, all good. I'm kind of glad we took this detour.
Yes.
But yeah, if I'm an artist and I want to get into sync, what do I need to do? What are like kind of the first steps that I need to know or do?
Step 1, have good music.
Okay.
I mean, that's even before you start thinking about this, just have good music. I would say a very important part of the process is research. And what I mean by that is not only just, you know, knowing what's on TV, but listen to music while you're watching TV or seeing films or watching ads. I know everyone hates to watch ads, but like I now watch ads with like a renewed like enthusiasm because I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, oh, whose song is this? Like I'll Shazam it. Like, cool, that's awesome. And then it could give you also inspiration for like the next song. So yeah, I would say that having your music all ready to go as well is really important. Like having all the metadata is very important, and metadata is the information embedded in your song. So you'll want to like put keywords, you'll want to put your contact information so that people can find you. You'll want to put the BPM, basically every little like minute detail that you can put in there is great. And then what else? I think making sure that you don't have samples in your songs, making sure that you're not using AI, because we don't take AI things. People are trying to be sneaky about it, but we're artists. We make music. We want music from humans. We don't want AI music. So I would just start there. Have your music metadata ready to go. Have the files that you need. Always have an instrumental. So you'll always need a main vocal track with an instrumental track, because say someone wants to use your song in a trailer or promo, but they don't want your vocal in the verses. So they'll ask you for a main vocal that has your chorus, and then they'll ask for an instrumental so that they can edit it together to make it the perfect situation. Sometimes they just want an instrumental because there's a lot of voiceover on the commercial or something. So your voice would distract from the product, and they don't want that. Having the files you need, having metadata, having no demos, never submit a demo if you're going to start submitting stuff to an agency. Always have it be ready to go, mastered, as perfect. I say perfect loosely because sometimes people don't make perfect music. It's not about that. It's just it's about having your stuff ready to go. Those are the things you need before you can even think about pitching music. Make sure that if you do have cuss words in your songs, make sure that you also have a clean version and you mark it as clean. Because for TV shows, they're not allowed to use the F word. So you can't have, that dropping bombs every now. You need a clean version without it. And I think I got everything. And I would just say once you start pitching to agencies, and I fully recommend pitching to agencies and not going directly to supervisors, only because supervisors have pretty much made it clear that they don't really want to deal directly with artists, because all their ducks are not in a row. We do the vetting as an agency. Someone will send me something and it's a demo or it's an MP3 only. They don't have an instrumental. I have to go back to that person and say, you need to send this, this, and this before I can even pitch it. So we're doing that vetting. So that's why a supervisor is probably not going to answer you unless they're your friend. But I don't know. I recommend going through an agency. And yes, you're going to give a cut of the upfront fee to the agent, but they're doing the work. Trust me when I say we are doing hours of work for you and making playlists and going to events and paying money for those events and meeting people. And it's a relationship game. So you're constantly going to things and constantly doing research on the shows and oh, that was canceled. Oh, this is coming up. So-and-so's the supervisor for that. We should reach out to them, or sending newsletters, doing all that stuff. So we're not just sitting there with your song in our hands going oh, cool, here. It's not, it people think well, that 35% is a big, or 40% is our cut, is a big thing. But without our relationships, you wouldn't be getting placements. So I just like to remind people of that. Also, I know a lot of people are very eager, and they come into sync and they're my music's perfect for sync and it would be perfect for this show. And sometimes that's true, but most of the time it's not. And I think people think that their music is perfect for everything, when in reality it's just sync is so specific. If you're reading briefs that we send out, you will notice it has to have these lyrical themes. It has to have this BPM. It has to be a male vocal versus a female vocal. It has to be a BIPOC artist. It has to be there are certain parameters. And if you're not fitting those parameters, don't send your music, because we're going to be mad at you if you send us something that we can't use or that we just have to sift through. So yeah, I think I covered everything. If I think of anything else, I will chime in. But,
yeah. So I just wanted to kind of briefly for people. So music supervisor being, is the person who's working directly on the music for a particular project, like a movie or whatever. So there's a music supervisor that handles getting the music. And then in a lot of cases, they will reach out to an agency like yours to get the music, or you'll reach out to them and they'll take music from you because they know they can trust you because of that relationship that y'all have built. And and it behooves them to take music from the people that they can trust because they don't want to get burned. They don't want a lawsuit. They don't want somebody coming back and saying, well, no, actually this is my song, or this is there's like some discrepancy with some of the writers or something like that. They don't want to deal with any of that. So they come to you because they know, like, okay, they've already vetted this. I already have a relationship with them. I can trust them. So I'm going to take the music from them and not deal with random people that I don't know.
Absolutely. Yes, you nailed it. Yeah, they trust us. We do the vetting. We thank you for bringing that up because that's an important part of the process as well. Every time you write a song, you should, if it's not just your own song, if you're writing with other people, you should sign a split sheet right at that session. Like, just do it. Put in all your information. You need your PRO information. You should all know this by now. Like, I memorized mine. You should know the percentages, and then everyone should sign off on that split sheet. And it should be a one-stop split sheet. So what I mean is, it's not just a normal split sheet that has like, this is the master percentage, and this is what everyone gets, and this is publishing, and this is copyright, and this is writers. That all needs to be in there, but you also have to have a little like blurb that says, oh, all of these people that have signed below, all of these names are allowed to pitch this song or these songs, if there's multiple songs on one split sheet, to any non-exclusive sync opportunity. So that one stop is important, especially for us. We only take one stop songs because when a supervisor is looking for something quickly, and it usually is quickly, they want to know that the song will clear quickly. Like, they send a playlist to a supervisor or they send the playlist to their client, whoever that is, and the client will be like, I want this song, let's put it in. And it's like next day they might, be wrapping up on the film or something. So that just means that they can come to us and we can guarantee that it's one stop, that they don't have to go to any of the writers. We've already like confirmed that this song is cleared to be pitched to you. You don't have to go to anyone else but us. And that is huge because most people, big artists, have to go through like multiple people, multiple hoops, and sometimes it could take forever. Sometimes it can take like 6 months to like get a response from someone. So, and then you've lost out on the placement. So that's why we take one stop. We do easy clear, which is another term you might hear sometimes, but it just means that it'll be easy for us to go to that one person we have to go to and not multiple sources. It's like usually only one person, and verify that it's cool to pitch the song for that opportunity. Right. So, yeah.
Okay. And define briefs for everybody.
Yeah. So briefs are what we get as an agency from the music supervisor. So a brief can be anything from like, hey, do you have any 80s hair metal from the 80s that can clear quickly for this budget, to a very long-winded, like, this is what we need. This is like, these are the parameters. So it's just kind of we call them briefs. I don't know where that came from, but yes, it's just an explanation of what they're looking for. And usually like we'll get a very long brief at the beginning, like of a season of a TV show, like say Grey's Anatomy or All American or one of those types of shows, and it'll be like multiple parts long. Like, these are the 5 categories that we need, and this is like references from the songs that we've used in past, like what we're looking for, like, and any kind of like stipulations that they might have. Cool. So yeah,
got it. Okay, so if I'm looking to get in sync, okay, we've established that it is better to, try to get involved with a sync agency than a music supervisor.
Yeah.
So how would one kind of get involved with a sync agency, what are the best ways to do that?
Right. There's a lot of ways. Going to events, joining clubs. Like I'm a friend of the Music Supervisor Guild, which is, we call ourselves FOGs.
Yep.
That's a great thing to go to. They have a summer conference and they have an award show in February. And pretty much everyone is at those things. And then they do events throughout the year. They're great. I love them. There's also Honeypot, which actually there's one tonight at Hotel Ziggy.
Okay.
But yeah, they do events. Usually it's like a dance night and they'll have like a music supervisor. It was at the Mint for many years. They just did a 25-year celebration, and Hot Tub Johnny, who's like the head of it, kind of took a little bit of time off, and now he pops up every once in a while to do a few like pop-up honeypots. So tonight happened to be one.
And Honeypot, what is that exactly like?
It's a music supervisor hang. It's like an industry hang where people will come. It's weed friendly. It's like people will come and listen to usually like a podcast at the beginning where they talk to a supervisor, or my company has done one. Sweet. And we like booked the talent for that night. And then usually there's musical performances after that, or DJ performances. Nice. So it's a really fun night. Cool. It's like chill and everyone's super, super sweet. I find like in the sync industry, everyone's really nice and kind, which is great. Yeah. It's not always the case for all of the music industry or entertainment industry, I should say, in general. So those are two great ways. What else? I've also been part of AWFC. I think it's like Alliance of Women or Female Composers. I don't remember the acronym. And then SCL, which is the Society of Composers and Lyricists. And they have great events. And these are all great ways to not only meet agents like myself, but to meet collaborators, to meet producers, to meet composers, to meet songwriters. Diane Warren goes to a lot of the SCL events. And she's really cool, and like they have
one of the GOAT songwriters too.
Yeah, absolutely. She's totally the GOAT. And they do events like FYC, which is for your consideration every summer, and actually it was kind of like during like the holiday season as well. But yeah, you get invited to all these panels, and they show screenings of movies that are nominated or that are considered for your consideration. So those are really cool. There's usually free food, which is also a bonus. And then what else? I mean, women in music. There's so many. There's the Grammy Academy. I'm a member of the Grammy Academy. SONA, Songwriters of North America. I go to a lot of these events. So these are the things I know about. I know there's like 100 million things that you can join. It gets kind of overwhelming, but just the more that you go out and you meet people, there are thousands of licensing agents. Some of them also supervise, some of them don't. Lots of them live in Los Angeles, lots of them don't. So it's just kind of a matter of just getting out there and putting yourself out there and playing shows and inviting people to come to those shows, and joining these clubs that they're part of.
Absolutely. You hit on a few things. Go into these events, go into these things, seeking out, because I get a lot of people asking me, even like, what's up with sync? How do people get into sync? How do you and it's like you said, a lot of it is the networking. A lot of it is these people that you meet along the way. Sometimes it's just somebody was somebody you meet at a showcase, or and then that goes on to lead to something, or some producer you met at a performance. It doesn't even have to necessarily always, it's not always just you went to a sync event. Like sometimes, like you said, just performing, somebody like you could be, it could be at the writers round, for example, and like some of your friends played writers round last night. You were in Orange County, but you could have easily been there, and then somebody could have met you that way, or you know what I'm saying. And so it's just like being out at these different events, I did join the Music Supervisors Guild. I was a friend of the. I'm a friend of the guild
I saw
now.
you at the conference.
Yeah, because we both went to that conference. And so like, taking advantage of these opportunities that are out there, meeting people, but also the education. Like there's, panels and there's, talks and all these types of things that you can, pick up valuable information from in terms of how to maneuver in this space, and also meet the people as well that are in the space that are doing it every day.
Right.
So, these events and these things are invaluable, but and some of the groups do cost money, but we've also talked about free things that you can do and and meet people as well. So
and it's always like a tax write-off as well. Like
yes,
you write off these memberships every year.
100%.
And yes, most of them are $150, but like at the end of the day, it probably far outweighs, like the benefits far outweigh the costs.
100%.
To me, I mean, especially SCL has the best events. Like I 100% recommend SCL.
Okay.
It's great. Like they do so many FYC events, and they just have lots of members, and they do lots of things in LA. And awesome. I think they have like Nashville and New York chapters as well. So, awesome. And most of these places do also have chapters in multiple locations, even like London, Toronto. So if you're not like local to LA, that's cool. Like there are tons of, actually it might even be easier not to be in LA because you're like you're in a smaller pond, and people are like more open to meeting you. Like True. I know there's lots of events in New York. I used to live in New York. I've gone to some of the Mondo events, and they're great, and it's way smaller, and people are more open to like chatting with you. I think in LA it gets a little bit overwhelming because everyone's here, and it's like it's always like, oh, I haven't seen my friend that I've been friends with for 20 years, and like they would rather talk to their friend of 20 years than talk to me, who I don't like. They don't know. It's just that's kind of the name of the game. So if you can like get into one of these markets in a different city, like it might behoove you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and then also though, I mean, you mentioned, people might want to just be talking to their friends. I mean, that kind of goes to being like having your face seen a lot, these things, because then it's like you eventually become, one of the people that people talk to. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
I feel like because I like personally, like I'm very introverted, honestly.
Same.
But and so like I force myself to, go to different things to like be outside, because I know that's I guess a weakness of mine,
Yeah.
But eventually when I would show up to these things, I wasn't always like the one to initiate conversation, but because I showed up enough and people saw my face enough, then it was like, oh, there's Broadway. What's up? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then that made it easier to start the conversations just because I was showing my face. So like introverts, I know sometimes it's like hard to like get out there and, like you, sometimes you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna go because I'm, I might be nervous and this and that. But like the more you show up, the easier it gets to like have those conversations. And then, like I said, people will come up to you like, oh, I saw you last time. I saw you. Yeah. Like, what's up? Like, then like I said, that just makes it easier.
And just being like a cool human and being respectful goes a long way. Like I can't even tell you, I would rather deal with a very kind, less talented person than a very, very talented person that is a fucking asshole. Like, honestly, 100%. Like 100%. I will write you off, especially if that person is like, I demand that this is done for me, or why haven't you gotten me a placement yet? And I'm like, girl, guy, whatever. Like, it took me 4 years to get my first placement. Like, simmer down. Like, everyone's trying this game. Like, your music might not be right at this moment. It's fine. Maybe in a year it will be perfect and you'll get all the placements. Like, write other things. If you're not seeing results, like, do other projects. I have like 5 projects, and yes, my baby is Single Girl Married Girl, and that's like my artist project. But like, I've gotten like 3 syncs with Single Girl Married Girl, and that's like my special baby project that I'm like, this should get all the placements. But like, it's it's not always the most sync friendly. Like the things you think, oh, it's just really good music. Sometimes it's not very sync friendly because the words are wrong, or the tempo is wrong, or there's instrumentation that they don't like, or the vocal is wrong. Like they want a male vocalist, like those types of things. Like it's really not at the end of the day about you as an artist. It's more, I mean, it is. It's they like seeing artists, but at the end of the day, like the placement is about what works for the scene.
Yeah, 100%.
And that is what you should be thinking about going into this and doing this, because if you're not doing that, you're, I don't know, I feel like deluded. Like it's just you're gonna think like, oh well, I should have gotten all these placements. Well, no, you shouldn't have, because you weren't, like, obviously you weren't in the running, or your songs weren't, you know, right for it, or I don't know, there could be a lot of factors. And there's so, like, most people don't realize, I mean, now having like supervised like 5 projects, most people don't realize what goes on behind the scenes of a placement. Like it takes lightning in a bottle to get the placement. Like to go from pitching your playlist to, or writing the song, recording the song, pitching your song to an agency, signing the song to an agency. The agency pitches the song to a brief that comes through that it's right for. And then the brief can take months and you don't hear anything. And then all of a sudden you hear back and like, hey, we like this song, we're going to use it. But there are so many factors along the way. And then we get what we call a quote request. So that's like the last step before the show or the movie or whatever comes out. And it's kind of like, all right, they want to use this, but they might not. Like, you can't post about it when you get a quote request. It's not like guaranteed until you see it on the TV. It's not guaranteed. So, and a lot of factors can happen before that. Like the director's daughter could be like, here's my new song, use this instead. Or, you know, so-and-so can come out of the woodwork and be like, I don't like the BPM on that, let's change it. Or any, like, honestly, produce, like the people that are in between your song and what gets placed is huge. Like there's like in some cases like 100 people like and decision makers, and like everyone wants something different. So it's not like you can't take, I call it like pitch it and forget it. Like that's what we always say. Like just oh, we sent that playlist, like pitch it and forget it. Like we're not going back to these people. Also, we don't follow, like we follow up with people obviously, but like we're not like, hey, did you listen to my songs? Because you're not supposed to do that. That's just like industry standard. You're not supposed to like bother people because everyone is busy. And you know how many briefs we get a week? Like there was one week we had 22 briefs. And yes, we have 3 owners, but like at the same time, like we're all doing other things too. Like we have 9 interns. Like we are like doing all these, like juggling lots of hats. So plates, not hats. Plates and hats.
You can juggle plates and hats, sure, yeah.
Right. Yeah, so there's a lot of steps in between pitching your songs and getting the placement. So you just have to be patient and be grateful when you do get something, because it really is lightning in a bottle, and it feels so good, and it's just it's not like nothing feels the same way. Like I don't know. Yeah, it's very special.
Yeah. No, I love how you said that. You know, it took you 4 years to get your first placement, so it could take time.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
I don't think people realize, you know, sometimes the time that things are going to take. You know, I feel like everybody underestimates in a lot of cases, in a lot of situations, not just sync, but I feel like in general, people tend to underestimate how long success is going to take. Right. You know, and this is no different.
Yeah, you should just have all this stuff going on in the back burner, not think about it, focus on the things in the future or the things present, do those things. And that's what I'm saying, like have your shit together so that you can get it into the hands of the people that can be pitching your music for you. Because like I said, I got into this business because I want to help my friends. I want to like help people. And it's hard when your friends are so talented, but sometimes they don't have their shit together. And I'm like, come on, I want your stuff. Like pitch it to me. So, and we're obviously, our agency like has specific ways to pitch to us, and we like give people that information, but every agency is different too. So read the directions when you're pitching to people. Like, don't just like, hey, here's a link to my SoundCloud. No one ever wants a link to your SoundCloud. Never. Don't ever do that. We don't want an MP3 and we don't want a link to your SoundCloud. And we won't listen to something usually unless it's like pitched to us from a brief, because that's what we're working on. I mean, sometimes we have time to like listen to songs, but usually it's like, no, please just send it in this brief because that's what we need it for. And then we can sign it or deny it. And all of your information is in there, what we're asking for. So we don't have to come back to you because it's a lot of work. So yeah.
How does somebody get involved with like 206 specifically? Is there like a process for that? Or?
We kind of have a process just because we don't take unsolicited emails or submissions. We have a Facebook group that we kind of put people through just because it's a vetting process for us. We want to make sure people can submit correctly, because if they can't submit correctly, we don't want them sending us stuff because it's just more work for us. And that they're reading the brief, because I'm not even kidding when I tell you 9 times out of 10 people do not read the brief. They will send us a country song when it's asking for hip hop or vice versa. And I'm just like, it took me 10 minutes to write this. It can take you 5 minutes to read it. And then we won't hate you. Trust me, we will be mad at you if you send us something we don't need. If it's close, well, that's fine. But like, if it's just totally wrong, we will be like, oh my God, you have one strike against you. So yeah, we have a Facebook group we vet through. Usually it's great when we're looking for things that are like out of left field. Like, I don't know, I think we got like Russian pop covers from that group. We've gotten, some vintage stuff from there. We've gotten just random stuff like, oh, we need artists that are from Jamaica. Like, do you have any are any artists from here? Do you know anyone? Bring them to the group. So those kinds of things. Because again, we're getting specific asks. We do have 10,000 songs and counting in our catalog, so we do go through our catalog before we start like sending out briefs to people. But in our Facebook group, we have a monthly catalog gap submission process. Again, read the brief. That we go through submissions for, and we find gems sometimes and we'll sign them and get you into our roster and go from there.
Awesome. So sometimes, you talked about sometimes there might be a need for Russian pop, and that's very specific. You also talked about earlier how, some songs may not be right for sync. And are there things that are right for sync most of the time or in most cases? So what I mean is, are there certain songs or there's certain things that if somebody is looking to just write for sync, because there are people who that's all they do. They write the briefs and then they send them off, and that's how they earn a living. And so if anybody was wanting to get into that and they're looking to specifically write for sync, are there things that they should be keeping in mind as they're writing their songs that will maybe help them get more sync placements?
Well, I hate saying this because I know authenticity is so freaking important. Like, that helps you stand out. So be as authentic as you can. Not everything's going to work for you. You're not going to be able to submit to every single brief. Like, I own a company and my music doesn't get pitched more than half the time. So it's not like we're not doing this to be mean to you. Like, it's just, if we start pitching stuff that doesn't work for briefs, we'll get blacklisted. So I think there are specific things. There are things that are, and again, with the research, it's so important. Like, what you hear on the radio is usually not, sometimes it is what's in ads. Like, sometimes you'll hear a very popular song like in an Apple ad or on a Target commercial, but like, there are trends. And one year it was like Lizzo everywhere. Everyone wanted the Lizzo sound alike. Like, everyone. And then Shabuzi. It was, like those, or Old Town Road. That was like something that got asked for all the time. So you'll see trends, and you can't really follow the trends, because once you follow it, it's done, right? So just be as authentic as you can. But in the same vein, like, don't oust yourself from those opportunities by like being super specific in your lyrics. I mean, obviously, if it's a song that's specific to you, it should be specific because that's authentic. But like, if you're writing all your songs about like Santa Monica and there's not a movie about Santa Monica needing songs about Santa Monica, then you're kind of like pigeonholing yourself.
Right.
And then you see what's on TV, you see what's like, for example, I don't know, Project Runway. We've gotten so many placements on that show, and it's usually like there's a specific BPM. It's a runway show. People are showing fashion. It's very like female empowerment or just swagger. Like, I got this. Like, you know, like I'm a showstopper. Like those types of things. Like, so you can, if you are trying to write for sync, you can figure out the formula. There is a formula, but it does change. So you kind of have to like follow the trends by watching what's on it and already kind of being in that pocket. And that's where it helps to have multiple projects. Like I have multiple projects and some like I have a dream pop like 80s kind of Kate Bush vibe project. I have, you know, a couple Americana projects. I have a folk pop project. I have like a country project, like indie pop. Like I do a lot of different things because not everything is going to be right for every opportunity. So just like in investing, like diversify, like right, it'll get you more. Yeah.
So it sounds like, you know, do, you know, what is authentic to you. Like I've never done a heavy metal song ever. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not gonna. I shouldn't be out here trying to write.
Maybe you'd be good at heavy metal. Who knows? I mean, you could try it in the comfort of your own room. But
but as far as like, if I see a brief come across like we need heavy metal, I shouldn't probably try to whip up a heavy metal song just to submit to that because it's not. I've never done that. I don't know shit about it. I have, you know, it's not really
exactly
my strength.
Right.
But you know, write. So like kind of write to your strengths and you might have multiple strengths.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of writing, but like, you know, stick to those. What about like I've heard people say like if you're writing a lot for sync, you know, keeping it to like we in terms of like or instead of like he or she maybe or something just to like make it more like inclusive or
right. Yeah, I mean, that all goes with the lyrical, like, don't be too specific.
Right.
But again, it's like, it's hard to say because you want that authenticity. And like, we have signed songs that are like specific to like Arizona or specific to New Jersey, like, because those come across our desk sometimes. So we'll do a reach out for those. But like, it's not every day. And I think the more you can be inclusive, the better, especially for something like ads. Ads are usually like happy. They're like, platonic love, like not like please don't write a love song, like there's way too many love songs like, that are like, you know, romantic love, I should say, platonic love, familial love, like those are great and those are like universal and could be great for ads. Usually just, you know, keep the tempo in mind, keep the tone of voice, like you want your vocals to be more like bubbly and effervescent and happy. You want the lyrical theme to be on brand. So if it's for like healthcare, you don't want it to be like about death. You want like that kind of thing. Like, I mean, use your common sense for those types of things. But yeah, it's, I think the more specific you are in your lyrics, that's why why Single Girl Married Girl is hard to sync because they are more specific. So I think if you can be more general and you can encompass more things lyrically, that's better for you. And having lots of dynamics in your song because there could be parts of your song that are quiet and they want a quiet part or bombastic and they want, you know, so if you have lots of like, I don't know, vignettes in your song, that can also help you out.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I believe at the conference somebody was saying something like that conference we were at. But also I think it also sounds too like you go like going back to research you were talking about earlier, like kind of looking at, you know, shows that are already kind of doing what might work for what you do, you know, like looking at those shows, finding those shows, seeing, you know, what they're doing that is like that you could work with, you know, and then, you know, going there as opposed to like trying to, you know, we were talking about earlier, like with the authenticity and everything. Like, again, if there's a show that's using a lot of heavy metal, then like maybe that's not for me. Right. But if there's, you know, shows that are using something that's more in my lane, then okay, identifying those shows and like, okay, cool. Like, let me see how I can, you know, fit what I do into that. And then maybe, you know, if a pitch comes across or a brief comes across for, you know, something that, then I'm like, okay, cool, I got something. You know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's all about like using your ears and knowing what's out there and knowing your strengths, knowing your weaknesses. And yeah, if you are moving forward wanting to do this, like it's a business. So you got to like treat it as such, and you have to like do your research and like know your shit. And do I know everything about everything? Of course not. But like I try to stay on the pulse of like certain things. And yeah, it's just, you know, sometimes it can be a gamble. Sometimes like right now there's a shit ton of like, I don't know, Yellowstone spinoffs, like those types of shows. So I started a project with two of my friends, and like we are writing like female empowerment, like country pop Americana stuff. And it's, you know, by the time we're finished like with the production of these songs, those shows might be canceled, but it's worth the risk. I mean, there are like 10 of them right now, so probably not all of them will be canceled. But yeah, you can kind of, and check like Deadline and check all the like publications that come out, because they will say like, oh, someone's starting production on this show, or this show got canceled, or they like XYZ is the supervisor for this new show. Or so yeah, you can kind of like see those trends happen if you just pay attention and you like follow on Instagram. Like I follow Deadline on Instagram, and yeah, they also have great events.
Oh, awesome. Cool. Yeah. Then you can kind of get the scoop.
Yeah.
That way.
For sure.
Yeah. Awesome. And I mean, if you're doing things that you love as well, if you like doing a certain type of music, then if the show gets canceled, the trends change, like, you know, you
have it for the next wave.
Yeah, you did something you love, and like you said, things come back around. Like, you know, and you were talking about how, you know, stuff may sit there for years, and then maybe those types of shows come back around or whatever. You know,
6 years. My song just got placed for the first time. So yeah.
Say that again?
Yeah, the show that I just had a song placed on, it was a 6-year-old song. So like, don't discount your like catalog. I think of my songs as assets now, which they are. Like once you write a song, it's an asset. It can make you money. It has the potential to make you money. So yeah, even if it's sitting there, like it can be making you money. So especially in sync.
I love that. Yeah. Chelsey, any last words for people? Any words of wisdom for folks?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you have your stuff together, you are a kind person, someone that people want to work with, you pay attention, you do your research, you know, nothing can stop you. Those are all the tools that you need to move forward in this world. And I feel like just keep going. Like, don't give up. It can take a while. Seriously, trust me, like the first placement I got, it was after 4 years, and I cried because I was so happy. But like it took a while, and you know, sometimes it can take longer than that. Sometimes it takes less than that. But just go with your authenticity and be yourself.
Awesome. Chelsey Coy, thank you so much for joining me. How can people find you?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm all over social media in many forms. I'm on Instagram. You can follow us at TwoOhSix, which is all spelled out TWOOHSIX. We are on Instagram. We are our website. You can find us on our website. We're on Facebook as well. If you want to join our Facebook, let me know. Hit us up and I'll send you the link to join.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. If there was something in particular that you got out of this, definitely let us know in the comments. Please like, please subscribe. And if there's somebody who you feel like could get something out of this episode, go ahead and shoot it to them. We'll catch you next time.